What if one person could steer a nation through war, peace, and crisis, but needed a team to make it happen? That's the US president's reality. Welcome to Beyond Insight Stories, where we uncover the tales that built our world. Today, we're diving deep into the presidency and the mighty executive branch, the pulsing heart of America's government. From jaw-dropping powers to nail-biting elections and the unsung heroes behind the scenes, this 230-year journey is packed with drama, grit, and genius. Ready for a wild ride? Let's jump in. Let's step back to 1789. George Washington, a towering war hero, takes the oath as America's first president, a role no one's ever held. The Constitution's Article 2 spells out the president's job, and it's a big one. They're the commander-in-chief, leading the military through chaos and calm. Picture Abraham Lincoln in 1861, pacing the White House at midnight, making gut-wrenching calls to save the Union during the Civil War. Or Dwight Eisenhower in 1957, sending troops to Little Rock to enforce school desegregation. A bold stand for justice that changed history. But there's more. The president can veto laws Congress passes, like Andrew Jackson in 1832, when he killed a bank bill, sparking a fury that reshaped politics for decades. They appoint Supreme Court justices with Senate approval. Think FDR in the 1930s, whose picks locked in Social Security and labor rights for generations. They also steer foreign policy, signing treaties and meeting world leaders. Imagine JFK in 1962, staring down the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis, with the world on the brink of nuclear war. One wrong move, and history shifts. Here's the genius twist. The president's power isn't unchecked. The Constitution's checks and balances keep them in line. Congress can override vetoes, like they did to Nixon in 1973 over a war powers bill. The Supreme Court can strike down actions. Think 1952, when they stopped Truman from seizing steel. Mills during the Korean War. It's a tightrope walk, ensuring no president becomes a king. Over 230 years, 45 presidents have faced this challenge, from Washington to Biden in 2025, each leaving a legacy, some of glory, others of scandal. So how does someone even become president? It's a roller coaster that grips the nation. Every 4 years, Americans hit the polls, but the Electoral College, not the popular vote, decides the winner. Here's how it works. Each state gets electors based on its congressional seats. California has 54, tiny Wyoming just 3. It takes 270 of 538 to win. Crazy fact, 5 presidents, like Rutherford B. Hayes in 1876 and George W. Bush in 2000, lost the popular vote but won the Electoral College. In 2016, Hillary Clinton got nearly 3 million more votes than Donald Trump, but the Electoral College handed Trump the White House. It's a system that sparked heated debates, still raging in 2025, about fairness and reform. Elections are a spectacle. Debates, rallies, billions spent on ads. Think 1800, when Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr tied at 73 electors each, forcing Congress to break the deadlock after 36 rounds of voting. Burr's bitterness later led to a duel. Yes, he shot Alexander Hamilton in 1804, a grudge that shocked the nation. Fast forward to 2020. COVID-19 forced virtual campaigns, yet over 159 million voted, the highest turnout in a century. The stakes are always sky high, with every election a battle for America's future. What about terms? A president gets 4 years, and since the 22nd Amendment in 1951, they're capped at 2 terms, thanks to Franklin Roosevelt's 4-term run from 1933 to 1945, steering America through the Great Depression and World War II. That amendment was a hard lesson in balancing power. But here's a twist. If a VP takes over mid-term, like Gerald Ford did after Nixon's 1974 resignation, they can still run for 2 full terms, potentially serving up to 10 years. Elections and terms aren't just logistics. They're the heartbeat of democracy, full of drama and stakes. The president doesn't roll solo. They've got a dream team, starting with the vice president. The VP is a heartbeat away from the top job, stepping in if the president can't serve. Think John Tyler in 1841, becoming president after William. Henry Harrison died just 31 days into office, the shortest term ever. The VP also breaks Senate ties. Kamala Harris cast a record 33 tiebreakers by 2023, shaping laws on everything from COVID relief to climate policy. Since 1804, VPs run on the same ticket as the president, but early on, they were often rivals. In 1800, Aaron Burr nearly stole the presidency from Jefferson, creating tension that lasted years. Then there's the First Lady, or First Gentleman. They don't have official duties, but their impact is huge. Dolly Madison set the tone in 1809, hosting lavish parties that united a divided Washington. She even saved a portrait of George Washington during the War of 1812 when the British burned the White House. Eleanor Roosevelt redefined the role in the 1930s, advocating for civil rights and writing a daily column that reached millions. Michelle Obama tackled childhood obesity, launching Let's Move in 2010, while Jill Biden, a teacher, championed education in the 2020s. They're not just arm candy, they're change makers, shaping the nation's heart while supporting the president's vision. But their roles come with struggle too. Jackie Kennedy faced unimaginable grief after JFK's 1963 assassination, yet became a global icon of grace. Hillary Clinton, First Lady in the 1990s, faced scrutiny while pushing for healthcare reform, later becoming a senator, Secretary of State, and presidential candidate. The VP and First Lady aren't just sidekicks, they're powerhouses in their own right. Now let's meet the unsung heroes, the federal bureaucracy. This is the machine behind the executive branch, over 2 million workers across 15 departments, from defense to the EPA. They turn laws into action, managing everything from national parks to nuclear safety. The president appoints agency heads, like the Secretary of State who handles diplomacy, but the bureaucracy's scale is mind-blowing. It's often called the fourth branch because of its influence, sometimes even pushing back on presidential plans. Take the New Deal in the 1930s. Federal workers under FDR built 650,000 miles of roads, 100-plus dams, and launched Social Security, pulling America out of the Great Depression. Or the CDC in 2020, guiding a nation through COVID-19 with testing and vaccine rollouts, despite political heat. But it's not all rosy. Bureaucracies can be slow, and red tape frustrates everyone. In 2025, debates over AI regulation show the tension. Agencies like the FTC move cautiously, while presidents push for speed. The bureaucracy also includes the Executive Office of the President, think advisors, speechwriters, and the National Security Council, briefing the President daily. Imagine the NSC in 2001, advising George W. Bush after 9/11, shaping a response that changed the world. Or Obama's team in 2011, planning the raid that took down Osama bin Laden, a nerve-wracking moment of precision. It's a mammoth operation, ensuring the executive branch doesn't just talk. It delivers for 330 million Americans from war to welfare. The presidency and executive branch aren't just about power. They're about responsibility, teamwork, and a legacy that shaped America for 230 years. From Washington's first steps to Biden's challenges in 2025, it's a story of grit, balance, and vision. A living experiment that keeps democracy alive. Love this journey? Subscribe to Beyond Insight Stories for more history deep dives. What's your favorite presidential moment? Or do you think the Electoral College needs a reboot? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and let's keep exploring together.